Hello. For this question, I will talk about the inspirations which helped me create my coursework, some distinct features and characteristics of my magazine, also similarities and differences my magazine cover, contents page, and double page spread has compared to similar magazines in the real world. To prepare for the production of my coursework, I did extensive research on a variety of established music magazines. One of the features of music magazines which really got me interested was that each type had their own personality and air to it. Different types of music all having their own specific look really intrigued me, because the thought that someone can associate a design to a certain type of music is fascinating. Truth be told, I did not directly lift the layout of the cover from any specific magazine. I knew all of the features which needed to be present and worked through a few of my own layouts to make them fit. I would note that the layout of my cover does share quite a few similarities with a Floss magazine cover from 2004. Floss is a music and pop culture based magazine, much more prominent in the 2000s than in the present. Having the masthead wide across at the top of the page and the features running down the left neatly. My cover page, like the Floss magazine cover, has a white background and uses a three-tone color scheme of red, white, and black. The cover line of the magazine overlaps the main image, creating a close connection between the two. I felt that this was very effective, and I chose to use a similar design. As for the contents page, I aim to make my contents page as simplistic and easy to comprehend as possible. With a simple design and only one main cover image, it bears many similarities to a content page designed by XXL from 2011. XXL is an American hip-hop magazine founded in 1997. Both mine and XXL's has top and bottom banners, features written on a neat row on the left and one main image on the right. The starkest difference between the two works is the black background, white text color scheme, which only I have used, and this was to attract the attention and engage readers by being different. My double page spread is the one page which is the most unique compared to the typical conventions. The layout with main images on either side of the central text is unusual. Having the text in the center of the page where the pages part may prove awkward on a physical copy, but with the rise of digital magazines being sold, I feel that it is an acceptable compromise. I took the black versus white design from Steve Aoki's Neon Future Odyssey album cover. Even though the album cover by the prominent DJ was very simplistic in design, I felt that the clash between the black and white colors made it very memorable. I did, however, differ from this album cover by moving the images further to the edge to provide more space in the center of the image for text, and also placing semi-transparent boxes under said text so that they can be visible. Most of the magazines I took for inspiration were aimed to keep in line with the geometrical and modernized look I was going for at the start of the project. When choosing a brand name for my magazine, I was trying to make something catchy and memorable that is very much related to electronic dance music. It didn't take long for me to firmly decide on the word bass to be a reoccurring masthead to my magazine pages, since bass is a word very regularly associated to music and generally often used as a key point when discussing this type of music. I thought that it would be perfect. Even though bass is considered a technical term used in music jargon, a layman will still be able to make the connection between club or dance music and the word. My cover page is relatively conventional, having all the typical codes and features of mainstream music magazines like Billboard, XXL, and Vibe. These features include the masthead, selling line, barcode, pool, date, and issue. There have been instances where the feature of the magazine were put into less rigid structures compared to mine, but because I was going for the geometrical style, a proper box is what I preferred. I also favored the indirect mode of address from the main image, as this gave the character a sense of mysteriousness and disconnecting him to the audience. The smoldering look also gives the reader the impression that this character is cool. Undoubtedly, out of all my coursework, the contents page is the one which follows the rulebook the closest. Other than the fact that the texts are written in white and the background is black, my content page has all of the typical characteristics: the top and bottom banner, features, cover story, and regulars title. page numbers besides the cover stories with a short description, social media websites, all of it is in there. I chose to exclude the names of the production team as I simply ran out of room. I chose to use a direct mode of address for the main image as I wanted to be attention-grabbing and stimulating amongst the large pile of words. I felt that this effect was duly achieved. I specifically chose this red hoodie as it best fitted the color scheme of the page, making the photo feel very in place. The most out-of-type page I produced is the double page spread, with two main images divided by black and white and the text in the center of the two pages. It's very different to the conventional one page dominated by images and the other containing the text. I wanted it to look unique and striking, the black and white representing the duality of the character the article is about. I chose the indirect mode of address in the double page spread mainly because I wanted to create the effect that the light and dark side are staring each other down. The direction of the gaze and facial expression is aimed to conjure up an image of deep contemplation and looking into oneself. To end this video, I will discuss the similarities and differences my pages have compared to real-life examples. My cover page, in comparison to the Floss magazine, are more similar rather than different. The layout is generally the same, with the feature cover lines going down the left side of the page in a neat form. The main cover line located at the abdomen of the main image. The differences include the geometrical lines added to the blank background to further push the techno-futuristic aura. My contents page, in comparison to the XXL magazine, are very similar, excluding the inverted color scheme between the two works. Features, cover story, and regulars both are written in an organized line on the left side of the page. Banners located at the top and bottom are present in both. A prominent and singular main image located on the right side of the page, grabbing the attention of readers suddenly and enticing their interest. My double page spread breaks conventions the most, barely comparable to a Walsworth production which I found. I ditched the typical main image dominating one side of the page type layout for a newer and more dynamic design of having two images to focus on at either sides of the page and text in the center. The black versus white design suits the theme of the text, which was really one of my biggest aims. The use of only straight-edged boxes and rectangles is in keeping with the design of my other pages in the coursework. My double page spread bears similarities to Walsworth in that both only contain one page number, which improves the aesthetics of my work.